Hey, what's going on, guys? Back again with another one talking about money, success, wealth, all that good stuff, right? So in this video today, I want to talk about why most people never achieve success, right? Because, success, it's easy to get if you really want it, right? But the reason why most people never get it is just simply because their brains are broken. And it's like, what do you mean their brains are broken, right? Most people live in lack and scarcity. And this is... Okay, so first of all, you need to understand that humans are some of the most programmable creatures on this planet, right? Now, we don't often think about this, and when it comes to brainwashing and stuff, we think of stuff like Jason Bourne, or where you have to go through some crazy torture or something like that. But no, human beings are the most programmable creatures, or one of them on this planet. And most people's brains are broken, and they don't even realize it, right? So if you're constantly living in lack, and you're thinking in lack, and you're thinking of scarcity without even realizing it, your brain is broken, right? I remember, tell you a quick story, about almost 20 years ago, right? My dad was just like, hey, what do you want to do with your life? And I was like, I don't know. He said, you want to go see a military recruiter? I said, sure, why not, right? So we drive down to the military recruiter's office. I'll never forget this. It's a weird memory I'll never forget. So as we're walking up to the recruiter's office, right, you got the Air Force recruiter, Army, and the Navy. And there was three guys standing outside the Navy recruiter's office. And they was like, hey, how y'all guys doing today? And my dad was like, surviving. And he was like, I heard that. Like, that mindset right there is why most people will never make it in life. Now, it's crazy because my dad is doing pretty good for himself, right? He lives in a gated community. He does have a BMW and a Porsche in the garage, but the scarcity lack mindset is why most people will never make it in this world. Another example of this is, and again, we don't even realize it, right? Another example is gnats. They did an experiment with gnats, right? So they put some gnats in a jar, and the gnats kept jumping out of the jar. So what they did is they put the lid on the jar, and so then the gnats couldn't jump out of the jar. Well, over time, these gnats had babies, and then after a while, they took the lid off the jar, and the gnats that were in there before never jumped out of the jar, and the babies never jumped out of the jar. The babies who had never experienced a lid on the jar couldn't jump out. And that is how humans are. That is what a human mind is, right? Nobody ever jumps out the jar because they don't see anybody else jumping out the jar. When in reality, anybody can jump out the jar. Like, the door is completely open, right? This world is limitless. You are limitless. You can do anything you want to do in this world, right? And it's just crazy. Like, we keep a cap on ourselves. We keep that ceiling on ourselves. And other people will also keep us in the jar, right? Your parents will keep you in the jar. Your coworkers, your friends will keep you in the jar. But when you realize that everything is limitless and you can do whatever you want to do in this world, you unlock yourself, right? And, that's what I'm trying to do with this channel. I want to show people that you can get unlocked. Another thing with this scarcity mindset, Plato talked about this thousands of years ago with this allegory of the cave, where he has the elites and they're controlling the shadows on the wall, and the people believe that the shadows on the wall is the real world. And then you have some people who got out of the cave. You can just simply walk out. That's where I'm at right now, right? And other people have just walked out themselves. When you realize that there's no lock on the door, you're the only one who has a lock on the door, right? And you can walk out of that cave whenever you want to. It's a beautiful thing to unlock yourself, and you start running around this world like it's a video game, and you just start collecting legendary gear and doing side quests, and you're totally limitless at that point. And whatever you want to put your mind to and do, you can do. And most people, they don't realize that they're operating in lack and scarcity. It's just automatic. Again, going back to the story of my dad, immediately he doesn't even realize what he's doing when he says, oh, I'm just surviving. Like, I don't want to just survive. I don't want to live in lack. I don't want to have a poverty mindset. I want to be abundant, right? I want to be optimistic. I want to thrive. Hey, how you doing? I'm thriving. I'm killing it in life. How you doing, right? And so you can understand the only person that has a ceiling on top of your head is yourself. And I just wish more people would understand this. Life would be a lot better for everybody, because once you get out of that victim mindset, once you get out of that scarcity mindset, life just, you look at it completely different. Like, your perspective on life, it just, everything just gets brighter, right? Relationships get better, work gets better, life gets better, colors get brighter. Like, you just see the world in a different perspective once you unlock yourself, right? Once you leave that cave of scarcity and lack and victimhood, and you move over to abundance and, you know, optimism and thriving, it's way better over here. So, you know, I just wanted to come on here for a second and just, let you guys know, because most people don't understand that they're operating in this mindset. It's automatic, right? That they're just operating out of scarcity and their brains are broken. But again, like, the best thing about this is once you realize this, you can make the change. You can, unlock yourself. You can sit there and be like, you know what? I don't want to operate in scarcity anymore. I don't want to operate in poverty anymore. I'm done with that life. I want to operate in abundance. I want to operate in wealth. I want to get rich. I want to do whatever I want to do, right? And again, once you do that, life just becomes 1,000 times better. So yeah, I just wanted to drop that out there real quick, just in case anybody, was thinking, or, maybe you just was like, why does nobody want to do anything? Why do people think that the world sucks, or, it's all over, so you might as well not even try? Again, their brains are broken, but it's up to you to be able to get out of that cave on your own, right? And always understand, the elites, they can't stop you, right? They don't have a lock on the door. They can control the puppets on the wall, right? Or the shadows on the wall, but you're the one that can sit there and be like, I'm not looking over there. I'm going out of the cave. I'm walking out. I'm unlocking my own mind. I'm going to do what I want to do, right? I'm going to go make as much money as I want to make. I'm going to get my body in the best shape I want to get it in. And once you realize this, your life just gets 1,000 times better. So, yeah, man, I just want more people to unlock themselves, man. The life is a beautiful thing. Personally, I kind of do believe that we do keep reincarnating. I don't believe we're over. I mean, we are all energy, spiritual beings. But, if that is a thing, and, that means that, our memories have to get wiped every time we come back. So technically, we kind of only have one go around, at least that we know of. And I just want everybody to have the best go around. Even in, dark times, you can still, live a great life if you operate in abundance, if you operate in optimism. And it just takes a flip of the mind. It just takes you to sit there and make the choice that you want to make a change, and, you want to operate differently, and you don't want to live in lack and scarcity. So, yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and leave that one there. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And catch you guys in that next one. Peace. Did I cut that one off?